You'll see that in your craft kit, there's a set of color pencils. And you can use these to color in your picture just like regular color pencils. But there's something else that's really cool that we can do with these, and that is that we can paint. So for that, you'll need to get the sponge and the paintbrush out of the Ziploc bag. The sponge looks like this. It's like a yellow rectangle. And there's our paintbrush. Now the sponge may not look much like what you think a sponge should look like, but it will after we put it into some water. So let's set aside our color pencils and paintbrush for a bit, and we can get a Tupperware container, fill with some water, and just drop the sponge in there and let's see what happens. So as you can see, it is starting to grow as it absorbs the water. And pretty soon, it's starting to look like the sponges that we know. So now that it's nice and full of water, we are ready to paint with it. All right, let's set it aside and bring back our watercolor color pencils. And let's start with a really short little drawing project to see how to use these. We'll get our yellow pencil and we'll just draw a sun. So a round yellow circle. And we want to color it in and lay down lots of color. The more color we can lay down on the paper, the better our painting results will be. So let's take the time to fill in our circle with yellow color pencil. You don't have to press too hard, but you just go back over it and put in as many layers as we can to cover up all the white. Let's go ahead and take our orange color pencil and outline it with orange to show that the sun is really hot, like on a hot Arizona summer day. Okay, now we're ready to blend it all together with our paintbrush. So let's get our nice wet sponge and poke it a few times with the paintbrush. That'll get just the right amount of water on it. And then we'll go ahead and paint over our picture of a sun. Now you can see that while we're painting over it, the little bit of water from the brush is helping the colors to blend together. Okay, there we have it. Let's try another color blending picture. Okay, we're gonna just draw a gray rain cloud. Now you'll notice from your set of color pencils that there's no color gray, but we know that if we combine black and white, it'll make gray. So let's start by taking our black color pencil and we're just going to draw a nice puffy rain cloud with it. And then we'll switch over to our white color pencil and just take the time to carefully color it in It's kind of hard to see what you're doing because we're coloring on white. But we'll just take our time and fill in that entire cloud with white. Don't have to press too hard. You can just go over it a few times. Make sure lots of that white color pencil is ending up on the paper. Now let's take our black color pencil, and since we don't want a really dark gray, we just want a little bit of black to mix in there with the white. So we'll just color in our cloud lightly with the black. Okay, once we've done that, we're ready to blend with our paintbrush and water. So we'll need our soaked sponge again. I'm going to poke it a few times with the paintbrush. And just go ahead and paint in that cloud. Now you'll see while you're using the paintbrush that the black and the white are really blending together into a nice gray. So even though we don't have a gray pencil in the set, we can always make a color if we know how to blend it with the colors that we already have. If your brush feels dry at any moment, you can poke the sponge a few times to get more water on it. And there we have it, a nice gray rain cloud. Okay, when we're done, we can clean our brush out, again by poking the sponge until no more color comes out of the brush. When you're done with your project, you want to make sure that you rinse out the sponge, get all the color out of it. And at the very end, you want to squeeze out all the water so it'll be dry and won't get moldy or smelly, and it'll be ready for your next project.